Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Joe Palmer begins now.
Good evening, everyone. It's the dispute that appears to have no end in sight. And today, yet again, a united front of frustrated unions have vowed to escalate protest action even further after rejecting the government's latest pay offer. Despite months of negotiations, the two parties today, once again, failed to reach an agreement.
Standing firm, unions today refusing to accept another government wages offer.
They're asking our members to accept wage increases that are below the cost of living and to trade off significant conditions that they have fought for and won over many years.
Last month, the government broke its own 2% wages cap, offering public servants a 3-year deal, in return for removing some public holidays and scrapping overtime payments for some part-time staff.
There is a lot of goodwill, certainly on behalf of the government, and we want that to continue. If the unions got a response to the government's offer, we'd ask them to come back to the negotiating table.
Unions now labelling it a slap in the face, saying workers will be worse off under the latest deal.
We are hearing stories now of education facility attendants who are having to go out and find casual jobs just to make ends meet and put dinner on the table for their families. Now, that is not what we expect of good public sector jobs.
Well, if the government continues to treat its workforce this way, then I'm really worried that this dispute will continue. And as the longer the dispute goes on, the more stress there is for our public servants and the more risk there is to the services they provide.
Already the ongoing fight has led to workers walking off the job, but unions have now put full-day strikes on the table.
They're talking about significant industrial action and stop work meetings that unfortunately will impact services right across this state.
Not ruling anything out. Michelle WISBEY, 7 Tasmania News.
An overnight house fire which destroyed a property at New Norfolk has been deemed deliberately lit. Crews were called to the Montague Street scene around 3:30 this morning. They were able to extinguish the blaze, but due to the damage caused, the house will be demolished. No one was injured in the fire. Police now urging anyone with information to contact Crime Stoppers. Thousands of Tasmanians have today turned out to celebrate women and their contribution here and across the globe for International Women's Day. Numerous events were held in Tasmania, all sharing the same message, that while equality is closer, there's still a lot more to be achieved.
600 people packing out Rest Point, starting the International Day of Celebration, hearing from the event's guest speaker, singer CEBERANO, sharing guidance she's received over the years.
Being kind and fair to everyone around you and having great manners, actually.
The award-winning jazz singer saying it was her mother and grandmother who shaped her as a woman and continue to today, inspiring the crowd with some age-old advice.
If you just behave to others as you would want to have them behave towards you, you will get along very well in life.
The event, hosted by the Royal Hobart Hospital Research Foundation, Tasmania's largest event to acknowledge the day. The global theme, Balance for Better.
As strong, articulate women, if globally we can unite to share that message and build the strength of others with us, that would be ideal.
The foundation launching a new project, one which will conduct research around women gaining a healthy amount of weight during pregnancy.
Collaborate with the clinicians and patients and design a program that will be sustainable and practical and will last hopefully well beyond the life of this project.
The inspiration continued on at lunchtime with Richmond Football Club President Peggy O'Neill, a keynote speaker at a Leaders in Business event, rising to the top job in a previously male-dominated role.
The message is, if you find something you really love and you want to make some change and you want to be a part of what's happening, just put yourself in the position to do so.
Meanwhile, Governor Kate Warner showing her strength at this event for community and public sector workers. Her Excellency has long been a champion for women and is vowing to continue.
So we've got a big challenge ahead. We've come a very long way, but there's a long way to go, and getting there doesn't seem to happen smoothly.
Louise HEDGER, 7 Tasmania News.
Health authorities have warned Tasmanians travelling to the east coast to protect themselves against mosquitoes, with an unusual virus detected in the area. Tests confirming several cases of Barmer forest virus disease in the region, possibly the first diagnosed cases ever caught in Tasmania. The virus is spread by infected mosquitoes with symptoms including joint pain, a rash or headaches. Most people recover completely within a few weeks. Authorities are urging those in the area to wear mosquito repellent and cover up. Hundreds are tonight making their way to this year's prestigious Glover Art Prize. Our reporter Sean McComish joins us now live from Evandale. Good evening, Sean. There's been some tough competition for this year's award.
That's right, Joe. More than 480 artworks have all been submitted for a coveted spot here on the walls of the Evandale Pavilion. Of course, only 42 have made the cut, and I can tell you they all look magnificent. Our crowds are starting to file in behind me. Shortly from now, they're going to find out who this year's winner is, but we caught up with the lucky painter just a short time ago. It looks more like a scientific map than art, but this depiction of Lake Pedder has taken out the top gong of this year's Glover Art Prize, and nobody is more surprised than its painter, PIERS GREVILLE.
Wasn't something I expected, to be honest. I knew there was a really strong grouping in the finals, so yeah, it's come as a bit of a surprise that I'm over the moon. It's all a very new practice for me.
The inspiration came from a paddle in the lake several years ago. Judges have had their eyes on 42 impressive landscapes.
But PIERS's work stood out ultimately because it's very much a new way of looking at the landscape in contemporary art.
A lot of that is a digital mediation, so there's things like Google Maps and there's topographic data.
It's the 16th year the awards have been held. More than half the entrants came from interstate. Not surprising considering the prize money.
Yes, it's $50,000, which is probably of great appeal to the artists as well, and it's a really significant amount.
Buys a lot of paint.
It buys a lot of paint and a lot of canvas.
After dabbling in paint part-time, PIERS is confident he'll stay in the studio for good.
It redefines what I can do, what I'm able to do. It's a reality change for me, so I'm now able to paint.
A new grant is set to help Tasmanian farmers break into the notoriously complicated international export market. The government announcing it will spend $550,000 over the next 4 years to help roll out a series of training workshops for our fruit and vegetable growers. It comes as international demand for Tasmanian produce continues to soar.
The Tasmanian produce is very, very high on the world stage, certainly up there with the best in the world, if not the best in the world. And people want our product, so we've got to be able to get it there.
This will provide practical on-ground advice and support, firstly to grow the existing markets and then to develop new markets.
Fruit Growers Tasmania is hoping to host up to 4 industry workshops a year with the funding. Hours of hard work over the summer holidays are about to pay off for a group of dedicated Launceston students. QUEECHY High School is once again joining the race to be the fastest on track at this year's National F1 in Schools Championships.
They fit into the palm of your hand, but don't think making one of these fun-size Formula Ones is an easy task.
So we come in after school till like 6 and we're here on weekends till like 8 and we're here a long time.
So each car is probably about 300 hours overall in designing, manufacturing.
Once finished, they make for an impressive sight. QUEECHY High School has long been a strong contender for F1 in schools. Next week, the dedicated team will take it up with 35 schools from around the nation. Today, it was all about the final touches.
So right now, we're just applying these stickers. So this is just this is part of our branding, our flames, which incorporates with our logo, which is a phoenix.
The competition has long been used to introduce kids to science, technology and mathematics. But the appeal is more simple than that.
This experience has really helped everyone in the team. We've all got so many skills for it, and I mean, it's not just a competition, we all have fun.
Sean McComish, 7 Tasmania News.
In light of International Women's Day, Hobart students have offered their advice on how equality between men and women can be reached. The young people saying they are working hard to achieve parity for all.
Our next generation of workers from Farn and Hutchins schools gathering for International Women's Day.
Promote that in order to achieve equality, it can't just be from women, it has to have a contribution from men as well.
The Year 12s enjoying their lunch break, the Farn principal impressed with the student-driven initiative.
It's been great to see the cooperation, and I think they're taking the message from it as well.
Students discussing issues with gaining equality and offering answers.
It's hard to get a message like that across when everyone already has such a set perception on what the boundaries of women are. And I think that through this generation we can easily spread that message more widely.
Perceiving everything as a clean slate, not looking at the world from what's happened in the past, but looking towards the future in a way that we can create a future that's different because it's equal.
Louise HEDGER, 7 Tasmania News.
New Tasmanian research could provide critical data about how to detect the earliest warning signs of dementia. This simple test involves someone walking while doing a thinking task. Researchers now working out if changes in the way someone walks could be key to an early diagnosis, with changes in memory and thinking in older people often a sign of dementia.
They slow down, they tend to take shorter steps, and they often will either stop or look a little more unstable. But we are looking for what kind of walking patterns might be most useful.
The research has been given the coveted $75,000 Dementia Advocates Award to continue its investigations. The fight against cancer in Tasmania has received a welcome funding boost, with 3 local research projects each accepting $10,000. A pilot study on bowel cancer awareness, lung cancer and the impact of exercise for patients with cancer will now be kick-started.
I feel excited because I'm a new graduate of new PhD graduate, so it's very meaningful for me to get the first grant.
Around 9,000 Tasmanians receive a cancer diagnosis every day. Hobart's Town Hall is filled to the brim with colour, with the annual Dahlia and Floral Art Show showing off the very best from local growers, featuring everything from one-of-a-kind dahlias bred in Tasmania to fruit and vegetable exhibits and bonsai displays, with only the best of the best awarded the championship ribbon.
It's just amazing how much time and work goes into it, and love, lots of love. You wouldn't do it for any other reason than the love of the flowers. So.
The show continues tomorrow.
To cricket, and the Tasmanian Tigers have pulled off an unlikely draw in their Sheffield Shield clash with Victoria in Melbourne. Needing to hang in on the final day of play, the Tigers order played it slow and steady as Alex Doolan starred with the bat. Chasing 448 runs for the win, a draw was best-case scenario for the Tigers as Doolan dug in. His fellow opener eventually found some form before Doolan raced past his half-ton in style. Silk edging closer to his with some power hitting, but his hopes were dashed soon after, 9 runs shy of 50. Doolan continued to fire as the Bushrangers' attack struggled to find an answer. It came courtesy of John Holland, dismissing the visitors' danger man, just 12 runs short of another first-class century. In need of quick runs, the Tigers skipper was unable to provide them. Wakeham needed to hang in, and for the better part of the afternoon, he did just that. But after 125 balls at the crease, his luck ran out on 36. Doran the next to go, as Holland's spin claimed another victim. McDermott wasn't going anywhere, but neither was his total on the scoreboard, with the Hurricane slugger 5 from 90 at one stage, but it was exactly what the visitors needed to secure the draw. A piece of Tasmanian motorsport history will be up for grabs tonight at Hobart's Italian Club, with Alex Peroni set to auction off the suit he wore when he won the Monaco leg of last year's Formula Renault Series. It's one of several memorabilia items which were donated for tonight's event.
It makes me so proud to be Tasmanian, you know, all small businesses helping me out and big businesses. So it's going to be an amazing night, and I think there's some really cool auction items.
Funds raised will go towards supporting the Tasmanian after he recently earned a spot in the Spanish team at Campos for the 2019 Formula 3 season.
We spend 3 months out of the car during the Australian summer, European winter. For sure I'll be a bit rusty. I had a small day in the car a couple of weeks ago for the shakedown, but you know, it was a bit of a tease, so I'm keen to get into it full time.
Leaves to Spain next week to begin pre-season preparations ahead of the first race of the year in May. Tasmanian triathlete Jake Birtwistle is set to kickstart his 2019 season tonight at the opening round of the World Triathlon Series in Abu Dhabi. Birtwistle will be out to build on an impressive 2018, which saw him finish third in the World Series, along with individual silver and mixed relay team gold at the Commonwealth Games. To soccer, and it's set to be a long NPL season for Clarence, with the side having a horror night out against the Hobart Zebras at KG5. The Zebras put 2 through the back of the net in the first half before finding another gear in the second, slotting 3 goals in the span of 10 minutes, with the side closing the match out in style to record a 9-0 win. Finally in sport, the state's best BMX riders will lay it all on the line this weekend for this year's state championships. With riders aged from just 3 years old right through to 60, the track is set for some fierce action.
Launceston's REECE ELLIS is back on the track with a vengeance after crashing out twice last year.
Sort of just happened so quick, I think slipped the pedal, come up to jump, and then in the final just clipped another rider and yeah, just fell off and yeah.
He's competing this weekend in the 25 to 29s and is eager to prove he still has what it takes.
Yeah, quicker gates, try and get out in front of the pack before I guess the rest of the pack catches up, but other than that, yeah, just trying to stay fit and keep moving.
For CAYLEY QUILL though, it's a different battle. She came in 4th last year for her age group and is vying for 1st tomorrow after a tough year of training.
Going around the track, it's fun. You kind of in the moment when you're on the track. You don't really think about other people on the track. You always think about yourself and where you're going to take the line on the track and yeah, everything like that.
Close to 200 BMX fanatics will race here tomorrow from lunchtime.
Tasmania's top athletes will be on show and trying to get that #1 state plate.
Kicking off the races will be the 3-year-olds, proving any age can take part.
There's a few of those from Tasmania. I think there may even be one from interstate, but yeah, if you want to see some action, come down and watch the little guys.
Jessica Moran, 7 Tasmania News.
Good evening. Mainly fine but overcast the weather today. Just a few showers over the far south. Matsyker Island 8 millimetres. Hobart the warmest with 25. Launceston and Burnie 22. Devonport 21 today. Temperatures near average across the state. Friendly Beaches reached 24. Ouse 22. Flinders Island, Low Head, St Helens and Grove 21. Smithton 20. Strawn and King Island 18. Lyoweeney 16. A mid to high level cloud band was about today, aligned northwest to southeast across the state. A pool of cold air is following that cloud band over our region. Thunderstorms sit over the country's east and the top end. Large patches of mid-level cloud over southern WA. Tomorrow, a weak trough finds our western shores. A couple more run over the mainland northwest to southeast across the nation. Variable winds, chiefly southeasterly, tending northeasterly in the afternoon, with afternoon sea breezes over the west coast, swells to 4 metres. Hobart 20, a light shower or 2 to kick off the weekend. 21 for Medina with a light shower. Oatlands the same and 19 degrees. Launceston, a possible light shower and 24. 21 the top for Devonport, bit of cloud about but mostly fine. 18 the top for Lyoweeney with a light shower in the offing. 20 the top for Burnie, partly cloudy, a light shower for Strawn and 22 also for Marrawar. And for St Helens, a light shower and 21. 20 the top for Swansea, light shower as well for Orford, 19 the maximum. UV mostly high but very high for Launceston. On Sunday, mainly fine before showers develop in the northwest in the afternoon, then moving across the state. Showers over the west, far south and Bass Strait on Monday, and into Tuesday we go, and a few more showers spreading right across the state by day's end. Further north tomorrow, mainly fine in Perth ahead of a few showers and 26 degrees, a warm day for Adelaide and 29. Melbourne fine and 26, a few showers for Sydney and fine and 31 in Brisbane. A little cloudy at the moment, 13 degrees in Hobart, 18 right now in Launceston, Devonport currently 18 as well. And Joe, as I leave, a happy International Women's Day to you.
Oh, it's very kind of you, Murph. Thank you very much. That's all from the team for now. Have a lovely evening. We'll see you a little later. Bye-bye.